Hello and welcome to today's video podcast, Accessible Forest. My name is Serafina. We'll be hosting the interview together with Dagna. Thank you, Dagna, for being here. We are going to talk about the relationship with nature. And since I already know Dagna since 2020, actually, so it's been already 5 years, it was my first time this year last year, to witness Dagna in a different role. Her role of forest therapist in the project Accessible Forest. So during this project, we were accompanied by Dagna in a seasonal walk. During the year, we had 4 different walks, one per each season. And it was really beautiful to see Dagna in this role. I was really grateful to be there with her and to witness her incredible passion for forest therapy and for nature. So since I'm here today with you, Dagna, I would like to ask you if you would like to talk more about your relationship with nature.
Yes, hello. I'm so happy being here. And the topic is very, very interesting because as we could work and see the relationship, our relationship as humans, through this process of Accessible Forest project, we could see how nature impacts our relationship and how can we build the relationship to nature all together, right? Relation to nature. I think the relation to nature to me would be first the relation inside of me to the nature which is there, and then connection and bridging with nature which is around me. And then somehow it expands, so we merge and we blend as one.
That's really beautiful. I actually was thinking about, while I was listening to you, I was thinking about my relationship with nature, and because I mentioned 2020, I just got reminded about what is nature when I think about nature. So I come from a place, which is Sardinia, where we don't have forests like we have it here in Germany. And for me, nature was always the sea and the beach and the sand and different types of trees and different types of vegetation. And during 2020, when I arrived in Berlin, I had my first access to forest. And that was super important, especially while the lockdown, to have this daily access to forest. So I could have a walk throughout the year at the forest and connect with the season, especially the season changes. And it was a different experience than I had as a child when I didn't have this connection to nature, not this type of nature at least. And now that I think about it, I was also wondering if when you think about nature, what do you think of? Do you think of forest? Or do you think of, I don't know, something different, a bit bigger or smaller? I don't know if you already thought about it and you would like to tell me more.
Thank you so much. It's like, that's true. The nature is so diverse. Wherever we go, we can see something new. Sometimes we may go the same street or the same path and then we notice a completely new detail, like it would be a new planet. And I guess coming from different countries, it's even a bigger kind of change and transition or discovery, adventure. The nature. What was the question? I forgot completely. I was so much into this diversity of nature. What is the nature to me, right?
Yeah, what do you think of? Do you feel, I don't know, do you think of a tree or do you think of the sea or of a lake or maybe all of that together? And which one resonates most with you? Because I think that's also a little bit telling who we are as a person or...
If I close eyes now, and I hear your question, what nature is for me, I see colors, I see dynamic things, I feel my skin, I smell the air, I feel the support of the soil, I feel your presence, I hear silence. When I open eyes, I see you, then I see clouds, in a tree. I think that's the nature for me now.
That's really beautiful.
I think this practice that I discovered, that the only nature, the nature I can define or describe is the one that is in relation with me at this moment.
Okay, so thank you for sharing. That's really beautiful. So it's a little bit like related to be present and to mindfulness, maybe in a way. And I was wondering for those who don't feel this connection alive in themselves, maybe what could be the bridge to them having the experience of walking around, seeing the trees, maybe the flowers on the trees, like now that it's spring, and feel like, wow, this is beautiful. And you notice that, you are present in that. Do you think as a person who has such a deep connection and relationship to nature, there are some tricks, not maybe tricks, but maybe more methods or advice that you can share?
Very true. I notice in my practice that through these immersions, often people rediscover the connection to nature by simply taking the soil. Wow, I didn't remember it has this smell. There are several practices which are very kind of accessible and easy to do, I would say, through all our senses. So the first step, which helps me, is, for example, drinking a tea. Like tea that I am aware of what the leaf is, where it's coming from, to connect to the plant that the tea is made of, and then to figure out what change does it make in my body, so I can integrate the nature inside of me. When we eat salad, we can do the same, right? So we are like surrounded by nature every day, every moment. It's just to focus our attention and to embrace this connection. Maybe to look at it a bit different, to taste it, to give a bit more attention. I would of course recommend to have herbs maybe, and to plant them and a windowsill or wherever. When we have garden, even better, no? So this is another step to see how the plant grows from a seed to the bigger plant. But nature is not only plants, there are beings, different beings like ants, mosquitoes, flies, right? They are everywhere, little bacteria. Just to shift the awareness to this busyness around us, that we are accompanied by so many different beings. And those beings are also on us, which is amazing, right? So that would be the first thing, noticing here and now. I don't need necessarily do extra things for that. Another thing would be to go to the place and just to sit with this nature. Just, okay, here I am. And who are you? Where is this plant? Oh, that's interesting, that stone. Who are you? And sometimes we think it's very childish, right? Because we used to have that connection. We used to play and be dirty and play with sticks and touch leaves and make different composition of the stuff. But then suddenly we lost it somehow. We became very clean and very kind of accurate, which is not very much natural and organic. Let's use our hands and our attention. Let's be curious. For the first time in our life, we would see the bird that usually would be there for years, but then suddenly would be, wow, this bird has this color. I never noticed that. I don't know if you have sometimes that you know some person, and after some years you notice the color of the eyes, right? This is the same with the nature, no? That suddenly, wow, so this is next to my house. I was not aware of it. Oh, the cloud looks like that. Amazing. And I think also, I have many practices, but one I brought here also. I was like thinking I need a company with me, and this is this plant. I brought it with me. This is ivy. Hello. She's okay, but this ivy was not like that. This ivy was a one leaf. It was just laying down on a path among other ivy leaves, and I just took it home. Like it was abundant leaf, and then out of the leaf we have this little ivy that is growing, right? The magic of nature. So I guess another step in connection with nature would be to bring a chance to take care after it a little bit more than usually. Maybe to clean the space where we are at, maybe to collect trash, or maybe just take a leaf from a path and see what happens. And to look, maybe draw it, make a poem about that. See what comes when you really connect with curiosity. Yeah.
That's very beautiful. I like this holistic relationship from just closing your eyes and sensing with your external senses to even eating and making tea, and even when you have a salad, think about nature, and then even some more intellectual, let's say, results of the connection, or which would be writing poetry or drawing and doing something with the hands and with the brain. That's really beautiful. I had never thought about that. Because you were talking about what is relationship to nature, I was wondering if you want to talk about what is not a relationship to nature. So what is actually, instead of bridging the gap between us and nature, what is destroying this bridge? Because the bridge would be already there, we just need to cross it, we just need to find it. But for sure, in our lives, there are a lot of things also that drive us away, that create this sense of disconnection to nature, but at the same time also disconnection to ourselves. Because as we have already said, it feels like the more we connect to nature, the more we connect to ourselves, the more we embody nature, the more we feel open to life. So I don't know, maybe you have some thoughts about it. I would like to hear.
Thank you so much for this. And you know what? It made me inside so sad.
It's a sad question.
Emotionally, it's when I suddenly connected to this this connection. It's a very sad place to be. If I would connect to that, it makes me feel very alone. Very alone. And also like floating without the direction or a purpose, and without strength and the power. So that, how would I describe the disconnection to nature? And your question was even more so what we do, or how it happens. No, that we, as a humanity, we got disconnected. How I feel, it's a tricky question, because I believe that we are as a whole. So our pace, everyday pace, and our civilization is also part of a nature. The nature of our dreams, the nature of some goals, or the nature of our cultures that we were taught, that we learned, and so there's nothing wrong in it. No? So I guess it's also part of our life, and maybe that's also a path or a lesson we need to go to rediscover the connection again, and to see that when we connect to the nature, it's this incredible empowerment and this energy of creativity and solution-oriented power, that suddenly we can navigate. There's another thing that crossed my mind. Very often working with nature, nature is not so beautiful all the time. And there might be an earthquake, there might be a flood, there might be very difficult things that people could experience because of nature. So there's also lots of drama around that. And even though this happens, through the connection to nature, we can heal the wounds of these very traumatic experiences, which is very interesting. So the drama that we face through the nature may be healed through the connection to the nature, which is interesting because I heard many times that those people are traumatized. It's better not to bring those people to the forest or not to expose them to this or that by disconnecting them from nature. Or the fear of climate change, what this climate is making to us. We will die. It's a nature. It's a very serious question. Then we, because of a fear, we get disconnected because we want to protect ourselves, because we are afraid to face that. And as a paradox, by connecting to nature, we see more solutions, we are stronger, and we are more healthy. I don't know if that's clear what I said, and my brain is a little bit confused in this mosaic of different elements, but it's very complex.
Yeah, yes, I think I understood what you mean. So it's a bit like nature is giving you the questions and the answers at the same time, and it's a little bit like a system that it entails everything in itself already. We don't need to look outside of it. Everything is already there. We just need to be there, be present, be open. And I really like that, actually, especially in relation to climate change. It's true, there is, of course, and legitimate fear of the future and what nature is gonna do, what is gonna happen in our planet, and what's the future of humanity, what's the future of nature. So maybe I also feel like sometimes sad in relation to nature, because when I see the effects of climate change, then I want to close my eyes and disconnect from nature. But this is like really wise what you said, and also felt healing in a way, because this is where we also draw our power. These words you use, the power and the strength, and the creativity, and where we can draw our ideas from, which is like, at the same time, if I understood well, also our own ideas that we already have, but we can only access them when we are also accessing and connecting to nature. So this was a little bit my understanding of...
Yeah, thank you for clarifying that. Yes, I guess yes.
Yes, it's really beautiful. And this is even more telling us how important it is that we... How important it is that we stay connected to nature, that we cultivate our relationship to nature, but also how much we are nature ourselves. Because it's really our own system, our individual system as human beings, and this system of nature as a whole, it's so much the same, and we can only work well when we are together. And something like that.
We call it, and like from a practice that I've been learning, this forest therapy guiding, we call it a web of interconnection, interbeing, that we are all somehow interconnected. And the more we recognize these relationships, the stronger we are. I think relation to nature, in a way, to me, it's also connected to acceptance of now, but true acceptance. sometimes I remember at my early beginnings of being a forest therapy guide was, now I go for this lonely walk for half a day or a day in a space I don't know, so I wander, I lose my track, I'm lost somewhere, and I carry inside of me this expectation that now something will happen. I will get enlightened. Or I don't know, something important, significant would come. And I learned that no, Dagna, it's not like that. Don't put any expectations, accept. And just embrace the moment where we are. And that in that moment is hidden a treasure of connection. Yeah. Because facing this reality, facing you, facing me, in us, and facing everything what is around us, also the studio, those people that are sitting here, beautiful people, we see ourselves. And I really believe in that. It's not a mystery, it's not a spiritual thing. Sometimes people will say, you are this eco-freak, or you are this or that. It's nothing about that. It's really about our human being. So I'm being with other beings, interrelation, in time. We go together, we move. And the more we are connected, the more fluent and organic the move is, and we can support each other in that journey with care and attention, with everything what comes with that, you know? Mm-hmm. Mm.
Taking care.
Taking care.
Taking care of nature, taking care of each other.
I guess so. I remember just recently we were in Croatia and we were doing there another project with indoor plants, and I was in a park taking a stick and playing with nature, and then another child came. We didn't have a common language, even there was nothing to do together, but we got so connected that still I carry this boy in my heart. And what connected us was a leaf, or was a smell of a grass, and it was me, in a way, who was not afraid to play with the grass with this boy. And the magic came. So I guess through the connection to nature, I guess I repeat myself again, we really do connect with humans.
Yeah. It sounds a bit also like the possibility of being free in that, of allowing ourselves to be free and to be a little bit childish, maybe a bit silly, but also to put away those inhibitions that sometimes also make us avoid to connect. So it's a little bit, I don't know, it's actually very powerful.
Thank you so much. I mean, being free, nowadays, this is so magic. And imagine that we have access to these little freedoms every day.
Yeah, I feel also like maybe by having this connection to nature, having this relationship with nature, we can also, I go back to this nervous system regulation, because this is one of my life topics. It's very interesting for me. It's very interesting to see how it works and to see how being in nature affects that. And I feel like what is actually stopping us from being free and also to connect to others in a deeper, subtle way is the fear. Is often fear, and I feel like by being connected to nature, by having this strong relationship, we can also forget about that fear and then allow us to connect, allow us to be ourselves, allow us to show ourselves, and only in that situation of freedom, of acceptance, and also acceptance of who we are, then we can really connect with others, and we can really also take care of others. And this is, I think, such a beautiful thing. What a nice talk we're having. It's really nice to talk about these topics. I I feel like doesn't happen every day for sure. So it's nice to have some time just to dig into those things.
So much. Also, thank you for bringing the fear. I have an impression that the fear is like one of the ways to take away our freedom. And thank you for underlying that, because I guess this is what's really make connection to nature even more meaningful nowadays. To not be afraid and to connect to the nature, but truly, no? So when we would sit on the ground, really sit on the ground, like feel the sitting, and give yourself at least 2 minutes, at least 2 minutes, sit on the ground. That's it. Mm-hmm. No? Or lean against a tree or whatever. It's like, just give a little bit of time. It's so important. Then maybe the fear would not be such a dominant power to guide us. Instead of, we would be guided by our inner power.
Yeah. It's like we already have all the resources to become this, to feel better and so on. And I guess that's also probably a practice, no? Maybe we go to that, like we can be the Dagna who was going to the forest and waiting for the enlightenment to arrive. And this will be us, I guess, all of us when we start to, maybe we draw like we wrote on our journal, that we want to become better at connecting with nature. So we will go to nature and we will feel like, okay, now things have to happen. I came already like twice, 3 times, and I'm still like the same, how is it possible? I guess this is also something that requires time. It's a practice. You said that also, you use this word also many times. It's a practice, and practice means put in the effort, put in the work, being constant, being there, showing up. And I guess it takes, I don't know, a long time. I don't know, maybe you can say from your experience to be there where you are, where you feel like you see the ivy and you're like, oh, I'm going to take this leaf at home and I'm going to give it attention until it will grow. I will take care of it. So maybe you have some experience in it, and you can maybe tell us more if this is how I see it. Like it's a practice that has to be cultivated a little bit, or is it different?
It is a practice, because here we are talking not only being in nature, but opening our senses to nature in a more aware way. And then it is a practice. And that's why we do walks and we invite people. Doesn't matter if they are coming from a city or from a village or from a forest. I could work with people from forestry and they would be very interested in forest bathing. Why? Because it's a different way of being in this space. And I guess it is a practice in that sense, because it's a new path. You use this neuro language, neuroscience language. So in our brain, we need to make a new path for behavior. And the more we practice the path, then the easier it becomes. And then the more we can try to do that, then it comes more naturally. And then suddenly, we even don't know when, I have a leaf of an ivy, or I feel somehow grounded, there's all things happening, but I feel such a peace and quietness inside of me. What's that? How come? And this comes. So it is a practice. And we have like practice the sit spot, no? So you go, you sit like 20 minutes in the same place, or sometimes you come maybe once a week, once a month, but you visit consciously. Maybe you mentioned journaling, no? Maybe you write a journal there in that place. Maybe you draw, you make a poem, or maybe just sit and be bored. It's fine not doing anything.
Yeah.
Just give a space. And then, really, I promise you, magic happens in that sense of being here, awareness, and inner balance, right?
Mm-hmm. And I guess this is also possible if, for example, someone doesn't have like a park behind their home. They can also connect to nature in other spaces that are less natural, let's say, but they can find nature also there, right?
Sometimes I was working once with a person that could not go out of a home, and we connected to the tree that this man remembered from a childhood. And this memory was so vivid that this brought the nature back to his room where there was no plant, nothing. And then he understood he needs to have a plant in his room. And this particular tree, so we were searching for the tree. Is it possible to put a tree from outdoor to indoor? Yes, it is. It was. So this became his aim. No? So the sky is everywhere. Where we are covered with something, then we have a soil. We have our body. And if even this doesn't work, maybe we have our memory. We are completely immersed in nature every time.
Yeah, so it's really powerful. It's so powerful that we can also connect to it even just by visualizing and thinking and remembering, and that's also very beautiful, I guess. Thank you for sharing that story too. So there is no excuses. People go practice, be in nature, sit down, don't expect anything, and just be. That's very beautiful. Thank you very much, Dagna, for sharing all of this. It was really nice. It was nice is not enough. It's not enough of a word to express how beautiful this conversation was. How many ideas actually were triggered, and it made me definitely feel like going out there and, I don't know, spend time with a tree or just maybe with a little plant at home. And I also want to thank the audience for staying with us, for listening to this podcast. You can find more soundtracks and more podcasts in the website accessibleforest.com. Thank you very much again for watching and for being with us. And enjoy your next walk in the nature.
Thank you.
Thank you.